Hello everyone, this is Houston Brown with Houston Brown Photography, and in this video we'll keep it somewhat short and sweet, but I think this little technique adds quite a bit to the image. I looked at this kitchen when I was shooting this particular house, and you see these two wine coolers here, and I thought that they would add something to the image if I could get the light to come on. Now when you open these doors in most of these wine coolers, the lights come on, but of course when you shut them, the light goes off. I haven't run across any that allows you to turn the light on. Maybe there's something in the control panel that you can turn on, but generally when I go in these houses, I don't mess with their buttons and adjustments because I'm not sure how to get them back. But I know that when you open them, the light comes on. So I'd come up with this technique to where I could make it look like the lights were on and get rid of the glare that's on here. So I can make this look like this, which obviously adds a little pizzazz to the image. This particular one is fully edited, and I did some other stuff up here and in the background and stuff, but I'm just focusing on these two wine coolers here. So that's the before and that's the after as far as the wine coolers are concerned. Another situation you might find this technique useful in is if you shoot shower doors, something like this, and you find a reflection in the door that, I don't know how you get away from this, especially if you want to shoot it straight on. I guess you could go off to the side. But this particular situation, it's kind of hard to show in this picture, but the only entrance to this area was to the right. There's a wall behind me, there's a wall to the right of me, and of course the shower is totally enclosed in front of me. And I really wanted to show the inside of this shower. So I ended up shooting this technique. We ended up getting this shot so I could show the glass tiles in here, these thin glass tiles. The thin glass tiles themselves, when I put a flash on it, of course, had a reflection like this. So I just moved the flash down and took a shot and moved it up and took a shot, so I could get rid of the glare at the top or the middle or however I wanted to do it. So let's start off with something simple, which is this wine cooler over here. And you can probably imagine how I'm going to go about doing this. So let's take the image of the wine doors closed, the image of the wine doors open. I'll take both of these images and we're going to bring them into Photoshop. So we'll go up here to Photo, Edit In, Open as Layers in Photoshop. And what I need to do is bring the layer that has the cooler lights on to the top. And then we'll turn this layer back on. And I need to add a layer mask to this one filled with black. So I'm going to go down here to my layer mask button, hold down the Option key or the Alt key on the PC and click this. And that's going to give me a black filled mask which hides that layer. So now all I have to do is just reveal the glass area. So I'm just going to select the glass area real quick. There's several ways you can do this. I find the rectangular marquee tool to be the best. So I'm just going to put this up in the left-hand corner. I just drew out a square or some remnants of a square, and holding down the Shift key till I get that corner right up there, the black, where the black and the silver frame come together, somewhere in there like that. And I'm going to drag this down to the bottom right corner. Then I'm going to hit Command Shift T. That gives me free transform. I'm going to hold down the Command key, which allows me to choose this corner. And I can just click and drag that right into there. And click this corner and right into there. Hit Enter. That turns that into back into a selection. And I just need to fill that with white. And as you can see over here, my foreground color is already white. If it's not, just press X to switch the foreground and background color. Hold down your Option key or the Alt key on the PC and hit Delete to fill with the foreground color. And that's really all there is to it. Now you may want to, for realism, if that's a little bit too much for you, we can just go up here and control the opacity to bring back a little bit of that glare just to give it a little bit more realism. So that's before and after. Let's go out to 100%. Before and after. Much, much better in my opinion. Let's go over here to something that's a little bit trickier, but not much more. I think you could imagine where I'm going with this. So over here, because of these two glare marks, I don't want these flash glares in here. So that's the glare at the top, the glare about midway down, and here is my image with the door closed. The only reason why I even need this is, of course, the handles, and I need to get this bottom rubber piece so it looks a little bit more natural. You might find yourself where you see the top of the shower door, and you're going to need that as well. So I need all three of these, so I'm going to select all three, and I'm just holding down the Command key as I select those. And again, we'll go up here to Photo, Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. And here's all our layers. Now, it doesn't really matter which one of these two I hide. So I'm just, again, going to put a mask on the top, hold down my Option key, Alt key on a PC, hit the mask button, select my brush by hitting the B tool. I'm going to go with a little bit larger, a little bit softer brush. And how I'm doing this, you'll see this in one of my previous videos. I'm going to come out with a video with little editing tips for real estate and architecture in Photoshop. I don't see too many people doing this. And just real quick, I'm just holding down the Control and Option key or Control Alt key on a PC. And once you do this, and I'm using a Wacom tablet, if I drag up and down, it adjusts the hardness, and if I drag left and right, it does my size. To me, that is the quickest, fastest way to adjust brush size and softness. I love it. I don't use I see a lot of people right click and do this, and a lot of people go up here. That's, to me, takes too much time. But anyways, you use whatever you want. So now I've got my white brush picked. I'm just going to paint over this glare. I'm going to go down to 20% here just by hitting the 2 key, and that's going to reduce my opacity of the brush by 20%, just so I can maybe blend this a little bit better. I'm going to hit the X key to switch the foreground and background color, just to blend that a little bit better, make it look a little more natural. There we go. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Since I have this door open, we're not seeing this same glare carry over onto the front door. But I think the benefit of having a nice, clean, clear shot into the shower, revealing this nice tile work, kind of offsets the fact that you don't see this glare continuing. Only a few people are even going to notice that, or even think that just so happens that glare ended there. I mean, there could be some other reasons why it did. I could probably go in there and copy, do some cloning and get rid of that, but it wasn't that big a deal. The client never mentioned it, so we're just going to go with it. And they've called me back several times since, so I'm going to say that they probably didn't notice. So now that we've done that, let's hide these two layers. All I need out of this image is the bottom edge of the glass, the little rubber squeegee that they put at the bottom of these glass doors, and of course the handle right here. So I'm going to move this to the top. Let's turn these back on, and again I'm going to put my layer mask on here by holding down the Option key or Alt on the PC, hitting the mask. So now I select my brush, and I need to paint with white, so I'm going to swap my foreground background colors over here by pressing the X key. And now we got foreground, our opacity, we need to be 100%. Now we don't know where the handle is, so I'm just going to paint with white till I see it. There it is. And now I'm just going to cut out the rest. So let's go, I'm just going to grab the pen tool here real quick. You can grab whatever selection tool you prefer. I'm going to hit Shift Tab to give me a little bit more space here. And just real quickly, let's go in here, and through the miracle of video editing, I'll just speed up through this real quick. All right, so I've made that selection. I'm going to hit Shift Tab to bring back my panels. So now what we need to do is I selected the handle, but I need to get rid of this glare. So I need to get rid of everything outside the selection. So I'm simply going to hit Shift Command I to invert my selection. And if I go to, it looks like nothing happened, but if I invert it, now you see that everything but the handle is selected. So I'm going to hit my brush tool. I want to paint with black now, so I just press my X key so that the foreground color is black. And we'll just get rid of this. Easy, easy. Now we need to bring back this strip at the bottom, so I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to decrease the size of my brush with a hard edge to about right here. Switch my foreground and background color by pressing the X because I need white. And I'm just kind of guessing that this is going to come all the way across here in a straight line, so I'm just going to hold down Shift and click. And there is our rubber seal at the bottom of the door. So I'm going to hit Command 0 for 100%. And there we have a perfectly clear glass so we can see into the shower, see this beautiful tile work. Hope you enjoyed that tip. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And thanks for watching.